Yo, what's up, YouTube? We are back. Colossal Boxing Talk in the building. And introduce yourselves, fellas.
It's your boy Big Cool, Colossal Boxing Talk, Bama Boy. Let's go.
It's your boy Mouse. Colossal Boxing Talk all day. Kentucky in the building, you dig?
It's your boy Smooth Cat. Colossal Boxing Talk. Short term. All right, well, first and foremost, hey, we got a lot of boxing to cover today. Um, First, we're going to go back to Thursday. We could talk about the events that just happened over the past week on Thursday with Austin Trout getting a victory over Grajeda. What was your thoughts on that fight, Big Cool?
Man, I like what I seen from Trout. I can't lie. I like that he listened to Barry Hunt, Barry Hunter. Excuse me. Um, you can hear Barry Hunter from the corner yelling out, instructions, and Austin Trout was alert and paying attention. He yelled out jab, he jabbed. He yelled out body work. He stepped to his right like he told him to, and he set up his left shot, left on his straight left hand, along with the right hook to the body. His body work in that fight was tremendous. I liked what I seen from Trout. He was aggressive, but he was smart, and that's one thing he did tell us in our interview with him that he was gonna still, be
Yep.
defensively responsible, which he was in that fight. He didn't get buzzed once. He got hit with a good shot, but it wasn't like nothing like, oh damn, you know what I'm saying? I think it was what the fifth or sixth round. He got hit with a good right hand, I believe. But he fought a terrific fight, man, and I think he ready to get back on. Ready to fight a top 10 guy at junior middleweight. You know what I'm saying? I like the the him joining Barry Hunter, who is an underrated trainer, by the way. He really is underrated.
I agree.
He kind of puts you in the mind of Virgil Hunter, as far as him being able to motivate you, but he also is an excellent trainer when it comes to giving you,
X's and
what you,
O's.
yeah, the X's and O's. So he needed to get much more love than what he getting, but it was a great performance by Trout against the opponent. He did what he was supposed to do and dominated.
Okay. Mouse.
Yeah, I agree with that. He looked really good on uh, on Friday.
Thursday.
Um, I mean Thursday, my bad. I do want to see him now. Now they got to move him back up to fighting the top guys, man. I think that's what I want to see him at. I mean, he's already proven he's looking good. Now we just got to see what he's gonna do with the top guys, and then we'll really know if Austin Chow is gonna be a big player again, or if he's just an average guy.
Okay. I mean, what I took from the trial fight, like I had said beforehand, it was a showcase fight, and he showed up and he showed out. He did everything he was supposed to do. Whenever it was a point where he was kind of lacking, as Big Cool mentioned, Barry Hunter got right on him, and he went and he turned it up. Honestly, it looked kind of reminiscent to when Barry Hunter the week before was telling Hank Lundy. He was telling him, "Step it up. I want you to do this, and that." And then it's like they would go out there and do exactly what he said when he said. And I mean, that's a rarity to find in boxing because even though the trainers can be telling you to do the right thing, but it's rare to actually see a fighter go out there as soon as he say do this and actually do it. But overall, Austin Charles looked very impressive to me. And I mean, I was actually happy to see him look that good, honestly. But as my boys mentioned, it's about that time we want to start seeing you against the top 10 guys again because I mean we want to really see have you learned and developed new things against the best of the division. Don't get me
Definitely.
wrong. No disrespect to Luis Grajeda, but I mean, he was brought there for Trout to look good, and Trout did everything he was supposed to do.
Yeah, no disrespect, but he is who he is. Like every fighter
Right.
is, whether you great or whether you subpar. There's no disrespect to him. He just wasn't. He just Trout just proved he wasn't no Willie Nelson. You know what I'm saying? That's all that
Right.
was. You know what I'm saying? And speaking of Willie Nelson, maybe they can fight, or he can fight Vance Martirosyan next. Yeah, that's a decent decent fight, and that can get him a little closer. I think it's baby steps, man. You just don't, you gradually improve your competition, and then when you're fully ready, you don't need to just be rushing into big fights just because they're there. I understand the
Right.
money and all that, but man, if you want to have sustained success, you got to be smart, and not meaning ducking and dodging nobody, but just knowing when to fight this person and when to just fall back and improve. And man, I don't know, Barry Hunter, man, he's so underrated. He had me want to get up and start punching somebody,
Yeah,
man. Cause
exactly.
dude,
Same thing I was saying.
man, he make dude, like you said, Mike. I mean, Smooth Cat. He the only like I'm pretty sure other trainers in the history of boxing, like they tell you something, you do it, but it's like when you got him in your corner, you like it don't matter who you going against. If you got some type of skill and some type of heart, dude, like he can like talk you through talk his way to you through a victory. Like I
Yeah.
remember when he got in Lamont's ass when he was fighting Khan. He was like, stand up, because Lamont was about to sit there. He's like, stand up, man. Are you tired? Do you want this? I think he smacked him, didn't he? And
Yeah. He did hit him.
he smacked him, and then I was just like, oh, you know what, man, that would probably would piss me off. I was like, hold on now, you know what I'm saying? Don't be smacking me,
Right.
but the type
No.
of relationship they got,
Yep.
man, he got in Khan's ass that night. He just motivated. That's somebody you want in your corner, man.
No, you know something else though. Honestly, if we go back to the corner slaps, man, the one Angel Garcia got Danny with, man, I think I'd have had to hit him.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. That's
You
too
know
that's too
what?
much.
Yeah, but that's his father. He probably, he knows Danny best, though. I mean, if you used to see at Trinidad, when Trinidad used to fight, and his father used to go in the corner and slap the crap out of Trinidad to wake his ass up, so I like
That's
to
what
be
Devin
honest with
need,
you,
man.
I like that, man. They need that because remember when Manny Stewart was still training, man. Rest in peace. He go in the corner, eat up his fight.
You breaking up. You breaking up.
Hey,
But
you hear me?
yeah, I can hear you.
Before I know we about to touch on that a little later on, but I think Devin, man, Devin might consider going to Barry Hunter, man. I don't know how they would match because his personality is to get in your ass, and I don't know how receptive Devin is to that. But Kevin Hunningham seems to be that type of guy, but just isn't as talented as a trainer as Barry Hunter is. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
Or maybe it's just that Devin Alexander is hard headed. But if he's looking to change trainers, man, Barry Hunter might be the guy to
To go to.
y- yeah, because he could have brought him in his camp. He could have had camp down there because Lamont Peterson beat Khan, and they could have just he could have sparred with. Well, he couldn't really spar with Lamont because
That's
that's two different
controversial. That's
style fights.
controversial.
But like I said, man, Devin, whatever we're gonna touch on it later. But if he's looking to change trainers, keep Barry Hunter in mind, man.
All right. Well, now we're gonna talk about the
Tarver.
right, the shock of Thursday night. I mean, I can't lie. I mean, that surprised me, that fight. And honestly, I remember I predicted that it would be kind of close, but man, I did not expect Tarver to lower the boom on him like that. I mean, that shocked the hell out of me. That threw me all the way off. But it was like, honestly, what it looked like to me, it looked like not only was Tarver the better fighter, he was the more determined fighter. He looked like the bigger puncher of the two, and he also looked like from the beginning of the fight he was the boss. It was like, this my ring is gonna go how I want it. I don't care what you say. You gonna do what I want you to do when I want you to, and I'm gonna knock you out when I get to open it. And that's what he did.
Yeah, yeah, pretty much, man. Because like the first couple rounds, he landed beautiful straight left hands, man. Jonathan Banks, man, as a fighter, never really impressed me. Like to a certain, he was a good fighter, but he never really like, oh man, that's a future cruiserweight champion. And you knew he wasn't gonna really do it because he got blasted by Atomic, in an easy fight. And then you're him moving up to heavyweight. You're like, okay, well, probably trying to reinvent himself, rejuvenate his career, get some money, maybe win a title, but. Like he just don't. He a fighter, but he just makes he don't look like one. You know what I'm saying? For him to come from the Crunk gym and and under Manny Stewart, it just man, Tarver, man, I knew Tarver was gonna win that fight. Don't matter how old he is, man. I don't know if we gave a prediction, probably didn't, but Tarver always had power. He always had quick hands, and now even though he's old at 46, and not gonna win a heavyweight title, at least not a legitimate one. Um, I think that it was a good performance by him, and I kind of fell asleep on that fight, so I can't even lie. I missed the knockout.
Mouse.
I tell you what, I know Jonathan Banks is not, a top guy, but honestly, I didn't see Turner beating him at all, man. That was kind of a disappointment, man. To be honest with you, I mean, Jonathan Banks is such of a disappointment to me. Like I thought being under the tutelage of Manny Stewart and coming from the Kronk gym, man, that he would, put out a better performance. But, I mean, big ups to Tarver, man. Tarver, even though he was looking like he made like the Wayans from the Great White Height from that movie with the big old belly.
Oh, Great White
Height. Yeah, he was looking straight up like like this guy. But besides that, man, he looked good, man. Tarver, I mean, people sleep on Tarver, man. Tarver was actually a pretty good fighter. Yeah, I mean, and they don't call him the Magic Man for no reason. He definitely brought some magic out of that, man.
Yes, he did.
He definitely not winning no legit title, but I mean, he's still, I mean, for a division that's not, packed, it's good to see some of the old school guys still in there.
Okay. All right. Well, now we're gonna transition to Friday, and let's go into Arizona Lara versus Ishe Smith. Mouse, did that fight go pretty much how you expected?
Oh hell yeah, man! Man, we had. I didn't even see Smith Ishe coming even nowhere near Lara, man, and I tell you what, man, where do you go if you're Ishe Smith in your career? You know what I mean? Like, well, he's like at a stalemate, you know what I mean? And I mean, big up to Lara, man. He did what he was supposed to do, and he outclassed Ishe Smith. But I mean, man, that fight, man, it's never a very entertaining fight when Smith is in there. But Lara definitely looked good. I mean, I don't know what's up with these money team fighters, man. They just don't impress me that much.
You know what? Now I'm gonna kind of disagree with that because Chris Pearson, he impressed me a lot. But I knew Chris Pearson was good. He was one of the prospects I was basically telling everybody to be on the lookout for. But Chris Pearson was very impressive. He he took Steven Martinez to school.
Like Pearson's is good, and I like Mickey Bay when he's on top of his game. He can be real solid. But I mean, some of these guys, like Love and Smith, who were put out there to be like especially Love, man. They've been such a big disappointment for that money team. That it's like, come on, like who's picking these guys up, But I mean, it's boxing. Anything can happen, man.
True. But I'll say this with the Ishe Smith versus Arizona Lara fight. It was a fight. I mean, it pretty much Lara dominated, kind of like how everybody predicted. But what I will say is, I was thoroughly impressed with Ishe Smith. He brought it. He brought it like I expected him to. He actually he was going at Lara. He was attacking the body, going up top, sitting there. Excuse me. I mean, he was trying, but like you say, when it's, I mean, you can look at those guys and you can see that Lara is just the better fighter, but it's not like Ishe Smith didn't give a game effort. He gave a game effort in a lopsided loss. But it's like that's like in the corner. I heard him a few times. He said his exact words was, how how am I supposed to hit him flush when he keeps running like a bitch? And that's the type of thing. Like when you hear that, you be like, it wasn't running. He was boxing circles around you
Yeah.
because and you knew before you took the fight with Arizona Lara, you know Lara likes to use a lot of lateral movement, a lot of lateral movement, and me honestly, you should have been prepared for it. But
I mean,
go ahead, go ahead.
not only that, I mean, coming from, you know what I mean, the money team, you're obviously the biggest guy in the money team is obviously Floyd. I mean, you can't, it's kind of ironic that he says that because, I mean, Medina said the same thing about Floyd, you know. You had Guerrero say the same thing about Floyd. How can I hit this dude if he keeps running like a bitch? You know what I mean? It's boxing, man. I
Right.
mean, guys don't understand the difference. You know who ran? You want to talk about running? You go back to the Oscar De La Hoya fight versus the Trinidad fight. Now that was running. Yeah, man. Some of these guys have their terminology so confused. It's so crazy.
True. No, but you know what? That's like to kind of get back with Laura and them. But I mean, it was plenty of times when he stood right in the middle of the ring with Ishe, and he was just countering him.
Uh huh.
And Ishe was like, "Oh, well, he ran. I know he didn't run. He sat there. You were right there. He pivoted off to the left and bow hit you. Then you threw try to throw a combination. Then he would hit you again.
And you know what? Laura looked really good when he was in there too. You know what I mean? For a guy that's always a lot of people consider him to always be running in quotation marks. He looked really good when he was standing in there with Smith. I know Smith is not, but like you said, he was trying. I mean, that's one thing about Smith that you're gonna get. You're gonna get 100%, and I respect him from that. That's just the level of skill is too big of a margin between a Lara and a Smith.
Right, I agree because hey, he definitely gave a solid effort. He definitely gave a good effort. I mean, he like I said, he honestly surprised me with the effort he was giving. I mean, I'm not gonna say I did. I expected him to give an effort, but I just thought he would be too slow all night long. But it was quite a few times he had Laura pinned up against the ropes, and I'm like, I go to the body, go to the body, and it's like he would head hunt. Then he would throw a one shot to the body and Laura would get out. But if he would have started throwing to the body from Jump Street, you could have finished their combo off with a head shot instead of the body shot. But overall, like I say, Smith did a good job, but he got beat by the much better fighter.
Yeah, I mean, you know what I mean. I give my dude respect to Smith, man. I mean, dude's been in there. He's willing to fight whoever they put in front of him, man. And I know him and Laura were actually supposed to fight before the Canelo fight.
Yeah.
So I mean, I'm glad that he got to fight Laura anyways. But I mean, you just gotta. He's more of a Friday night fighter than a Showtime and HBO fighter.
All right, now let's speaking since I forgot about Chris Pearson, but we can kind of get into his fight now with him and him and Steven Martinez. What was your take on that fight from both? I mean, from both guys. How did you think both guys did in that fight?
You know what? I don't know. I mean, Martinez to me is who he is. Pearson to me is he's good, and he's a good up and coming fighter. You know what I mean? Like he's improving every fight that he takes. So I mean, I I saw it only. I saw it. Truthfully, I saw it only going for Pearson one way. Like I didn't see. I mean, there was glimpses in there that you had. They exchanged well and stuff like that. But I just didn't see Martinez beating him at all, and no type in that fight. I mean, For me, it was a unanimous decision the whole way through.
Okay. You know what? I'll say this. I noticed early on in the fight, it was like because Steven Martinez was the bigger of the two. I noticed he was like trying to impose his will on Chris Pearson, and early on he was doing good with it, but then Pearson started to use his lateral movement and hit him, and he was catching him with those right hooks every time Steven Martinez would walk in. And I mean, he put on a clinic. He really did. He looked very impressive, and he's another guy at 154 who I'm definitely interested in seeing get a big fight. I mean, hell, we can go back to talk about the Thursday card. I would like to see Austin Trout versus Chris Pearson. To be honest,
Yeah,
I I think that'll be a good, exciting fight. I would like to see that. Two southpaws going at each other. You got the wild event. You got the wild event against the young upcomer. Let's see which guy is better.
you know what? And that's the thing about Pearson, man. That he's a southpaw, and he's man is all right. How do I say this? Southpaws, man, in the game, like when a guy's up and coming and he's able to adjust and do the things that Pearson does as a southpaw, man, he's gonna be a problem for anybody, no matter what he does, because he's a southpaw. Yeah, and that's the thing about him. It's just he's so comfortable when he's in there. And you look at him and he's so relaxed. He's in his zone, and it's he does things. It's like a flow. You know what I mean? It's effortlessly, and he's only gonna get better. I mean, I really hope for the sake of the money team and just for the sake of Pearson, man, that he just keeps improving as a fighter because he looks really good right now. And there's not that many southpaws out there that can make it look so effortlessly. You know what I mean?
Right. Okay. Let's get into Badu Jack's fight. Me, honestly, I mean, when I first saw the dude in the ring, the first thing I said was, "Damn, he looked like a heavyweight." And dude was big, man. He was huge, and I mean, and Badu Jack, he said that he took him apart. His opponent, he was in no type of shape. He wasn't in good shape, and Badu Jack, like I said, he took advantage of it, and he put a beating on him.
You know what? He did really did put a beat on him. I'm still not sold on Badu. I still don't think that he can bang with the elite guys, but he's
Right,
definitely in that he's in that doorway, where he can probably get some wins off of a couple of them, but you know what I mean. He looked really good, man. I was impressed. I'm not even gonna lie. He really impressed the shit out of me, man. Because I really do not like him as a fighter. I don't think he lives up to the hype that they gave him. But man, he looked really, really good when he fought this weekend.
over, like I say, I mean, I was impressed with the effort he put forth too, because I mean, from I didn't know too much about his opponent, and but I heard his opponent was a kind of good rugged guy, so I was kind of expecting to see the guy give him a little trouble, but I mean he came out boxed well, and he was tagging him with his power shots continuously, and the guy just couldn't take it, and the referee stepped in and stopped the fight.
Yeah, but you know what? The key in that fight was the fact that Badu made it his fight. He didn't make
Yeah,
it a brawl. You know what I mean? And that's what a lot of these boxers' problems are, that they get careless and they make fights into brawls. And he really put on a display of how to make a fighter fight
fight your
your fight.
fight.
He's pretty
Yep,
good at it.
I agree. I agree. Now, here we go. Saturday night. Um, we can talk about. Errol Spence looked very impressive against a guy who he was supposed to beat. He looked good. He looked real good. He looked fast. He was countering the right way. I mean, he still does a few things that for some reason. I mean, I guess it's just his style, but he telegraphs a lot of his shots, and I mean, even though he's fighting guys now that can't take advantage of it, but I mean, when he steps it up, I mean, because I want to see Errol Spence do great things in boxing, but I mean, with the way he telegraphs his shots, that can get him in trouble. Because as we've seen before, good timing beats speed any time of the week. So a guy with good timing who can time that can and has the power can possibly put him in some dangerous situations. But overall, I was thoroughly impressed with him. He looked very good. He looked very good and a dominant performance. You
You
break.
need
Oh,
somebody that. All right, give me a second. Hold on.
okay. Like I say, overall with Errol Spence, he was looking good. He really looked good. He was crisp with his shots and fast, and he got the guy out of there like he was supposed to do. But overall, like I say, when he telegraphs the shots, that's the thing there that has me kind of
Hear me now?
huh? Yeah.
All right. So yeah, so his time, and he's still young, he's still building up. But he needs somebody that's going to time his shot, and that's how he's gonna learn to make that adjustment. Up
Right.
until he finds a fighter that doesn't make him uh go into that. That's when we'll really know what Spence is made of. But you know what? I've been saying for months already that Spence was the future of boxing. I know a couple of months we had gotten into a debate on Facebook about the young and up and coming black fighters, and I was the first one that threw Spence. Nobody was giving him no type of love whatsoever, and now everybody seems to be getting into what he's doing. But he looks really solid, man. He has the whole package. Yeah, there's things here he can fix, but you know what? I mean, there's guys that have more fights than him, and still doing half the things that he's doing. So he's a force to look out for, man. Up until he fights a guy that's gonna really push him to that, it's really then gonna show where he's at and his maturity and whether he can make the adjustments or not. I think they're developing him really, really good. His camp is really solid, man. And he's getting some really good work. So I hope they keep it up because like I said, man, I believe he's the future of boxing. Well, at least one of them. You know what I mean?
You know what? And I'll say like this, I definitely feel he has a bright future as well. And as you say, I feel he can potentially be a star in boxing. But he's not the number one guy on my list as the future of boxing. But I mean, he's in my top three definitely. So
Yeah, he's not my number one either, but he's definitely. I don't know if I put him top three, but I would put him top five up there. I mean, I got a couple of guys that got before him, but I mean, if he keeps developing well and his camp continues to bring him up to speed the way that they are, and see, you all right, people give fighters credit, but this is where you need to really look into the camp and to the corner of fighters. And this is what I mean by when guys form, like, see, like a Broner would benefit so much from a camp like this. Because these guys, they groom their fighters and they allow them to build up at their pace. They're not rushing the guy, they're not slowing the guy either like a Gary Russell. They're building, the camp is so well um, collectively working together that it's, man, I give so much credit to that camp because they're building him up so nice. It's like a Felix Verdejo situation. They're building him up so nice. They're not rushing him. They're letting him get up. And it's like I tell my fighters and how I tell when I talk to people out in the street and other trainers, you build up your fighter when he comes out and he makes his debut as a professional. You get him D level fighters, and once he gets up to ten fights, you get him C level fighters. When he gets up to like 20 fights, you give him them B level fighters, and then you just slowly keep building him up. And that's what they're doing there, man. They're doing a really good job there.
I agree. I think they are doing a good job. And also, speaking of the guy who I do have number one on my list, Amir Imam, he makes his return to the ring on the Stavern versus Wilder undercard. So that's good. That's good news there to see him back in the ring. Even though I would like to see him in the ring a lot more often. I mean, he's a young guy. He isn't injured, so I mean, I would like to see more of him because he every fight of his I've seen, he's constantly improving. Even though his power a bit at times. His power kind of carries him through fights. But his last fight with this with the contender, what's his name? Your Donis Ugos. That fight there, I mean, it showed a whole different. It showed his versatility. It showed that he can get in the fight and he can be down and make the proper adjustments to get right back in the fight and dominate. Because he after he lost the first two or three rounds, he took Ugos to school, and me honestly, hey, I'm thoroughly impressed with that kid. I mean, it's like every time I watch him, he makes subtle adjustments for every whenever he steps it up, he makes an adjustment to make sure he's better than the guy he's fighting at that time. So that's like I say, Amir Imam, in my opinion, is I believe he's going to be a big time star in boxing.
I agree. I agree. I think he's gonna be good too. I do wish that they would let him fight more. I mean, I want to see him fight more. So I agree with what you're saying.
That's the down part of having Don King as your promoter. He doesn't have the pull that he used to have, so he can't get you on that many times like he used to. But this is the type of kid who, I mean, that's like Jay Z is in the boxing game, and he's definitely looking for fighters to invest in. Jay Z, I mean, Amir Imam is definitely a fighter you can invest in. Excuse me. But Amir Imam is a fighter who you can invest in, get him out of that contract with Don King, and steer his career in the right direction.
Exactly. But you know what? Maybe he should consider, maybe leaving King and going somewhere else. When he may get that spotlight.
True. That I definitely feel a move to Golden Boy, top rank. Hell, even Mike Tyson promotions, I think would be a good move for him.
Yeah, there's a couple of options for him to go out there. I mean, I know that we spoke to James De La Rosa about a month ago before his fight, and he said, he didn't have no bad feelings with Don King. He just went his way. He's with Golden Boy now, and
Right.
you know, I mean, sometimes you gotta understand the business. When sometimes it's nothing personal with these guys. You just gotta do what's best for your career.
Exactly. Um, to kind of gotta get out, gotta get to the next subject. Victor Ortiz makes his return after getting knocked out by Luis Colazo, and he returns with a third round TKO of I think his name was Jose Ramirez. And
Yeah,
overall, what I'll say is Victor Ortiz pretty much. I mean, he was the boss in there, but I mean, I'm not sure if I was the only one who caught this, but every time Ramirez landed a shot, or it's like Ortiz, it's like something happened to him mentally. like whenever he get hit, he like jumped back and like got alarmed, and he actually what round was I think it was round two. He got hit with a right hook, and as soon as the punch landed, he kind of like jumped back, looked like he was hurt, and he had
Mm-hmm.
Ramirez come in recklessly, even though he countered, and he was doing a good job of countering Ramirez, but I don't know why Ortiz he doesn't look like himself to me. He looks like I mean I don't want to call him a shot fighter, but he looks like a fighter who mentally doesn't have it anymore. And with a tough sport like boxing, that's definitely the wrong attitude to have. And I don't know. I don't. I mean, I wish for the best for him, but honestly, I think Victor Ortiz is at the crossroads. Honestly,
You know what? When you say that with the, his mind has never been in boxing, man. I mean,
hello, Mouse. Okay. Well, overall, like I say, I feel Victor Ortiz is something missing because for some odd reason he doesn't seem to have that fire that he once had. And I mean,
yeah,
even
but
though the move with Joel Diaz, I mean, it brought a little something back because he got a win. But I mean, let's be honest, he was in a ring against an opponent who he was supposed to beat, who was brought there to lose to him. But I won't say he didn't look good because he did look he looked good. He just looks mentally gone to me.
can you hear me?
Yes, sir.
Alright. So yeah, I don't think Victor Ortiz's mental thing was ever, yeah, I mean, was ever in boxing. I mean, we know Victor Ortiz was a tough kid. You know what I mean? He went through whatever he went through in his life, and I mean, I think a lot of Victor Ortiz's glamour came from the Mayweather fight, leading into the Mayweather fight. They really put that story out there about how he grew up, and they made him the Cinderella story. But unfortunately, I live by one thing. I always say you can train a person to fight, but you can't train a person's heart. And that to me is Vic Ortiz. I thought he did. He looked good. Yeah, he looked. He listened to Joel Diaz and he did his thing in the ring and took care of that dude by knocking him out. But I mean, it's what you said, man. There was times where that dude hit him and he looked like he was just scared to get hit. And unfortunately for him, the elite guys are gonna hit you and they're gonna hit you
Hit you
harder.
often, and they're gonna hit you often.
So it's I know Andre Berto wants a rematch. Joel Diaz came out and said that he wants one more fight for Victor, and then if they get that one more fight, they'll go for the Berto fight after that. I mean, honestly, I think that's the best route they can take. I think everybody would like to see that rematch, and I just don't see Victor Ortiz beating any of the elite guys anymore. He just doesn't have the heart for it, man. I mean, he's just he's yeah. I mean, you either have it or you don't. Boxing is for everyone, but everyone is not for boxing. And Ortiz
Right.
is just it's not for boxing, man. I mean, like I said, man, I hope we get the better rematch, but I just hope that he's not dumb enough to continue to pursue if he does get a shot at an elite guy again, and he gets beat or knocked out again, because eventually it's going to start affecting, you know, him more. I mean, he already talking crazy. Imagine if he gets knocked out.
You know what? Hey, honestly, he said something about doing a post fight interview. Yeah, well, guys are overlooking me. They feel I'm done. I'm not done. I'm still gonna be one of the best ever to do it. And I mean, now when he says that, he sounds unsure of himself. So how in the world do you expect the masses, the fans, to gravitate and to actually believe in you if you don't even sound sure of yourself?
Yeah, I agree. I mean, it's kind of crazy that a guy that he got uh he got stopped on Medina, right?
Yep.
He quit on Medina. He
Mm.
quit on he quit on Josecito Lopez. Then he got. I thought he quit on Colazo. Yeah, and then so,
You know what? It's a lot of people who feel he quit with that because the shot he got hit with, it didn't. I mean, Collazo isn't known for one punch KO power. Yes, Collazo can punch, but I mean, honestly, I still feel to this day. I just watched the fight the other day. It looked as if he could have got up, but I mean, that's more along the lines when I was saying that he looked like he's mentally out of it because I mean the Victor Ortiz that fought Andre Berto that night, that's the Victor Ortiz that I want to see all the time. But
yeah,
that guy there is a rarity.
but you know what? You know something I've always asked regarding that was maybe we just got the best of Victor Ortiz that night. Maybe that was just Victor Ortiz's high career performance. You know what I mean? Maybe that was he just because not to knock Berto. I don't want to knock Berto, but Berto's not. You know what I mean? I mean, yeah, he was undefeated, and yeah, they were both. But Berto to me, he's like a C plus fighter, maybe B minus. You know, um, and Berto, maybe Berto was just that guy. Maybe Berto is like what Mickey Ward was to Arturo Gotti. He brought out the best in Victor Ortiz. But it's just,
That's possible.
I don't think that Victor Ortiz ever had more than just that night. I think that was Victor Ortiz's 16 minutes of fame. Unfortunately, sometimes it just works like that.
Right. You know
Victor
what?
Ortiz to me, the reason I bring up Gotti is because Gotti was such an entertaining fighter. But Gotti was just average. He wasn't, he didn't. He had average power, average speed, but his heart was unmatched, bro. Unfortunately, Victor Ortiz don't have that heart that Gotti had. But Gotti was good enough to beat average guys, but never good enough to go in there with the top guys. And when you have a guy like Mickey Ward that comes out and produces probably three of the best fights in boxing history, and you guys are both average fighters, that speaks volumes. And that to me is Berto and Victor Ortiz. Mickey Ward and Arturo Gotti.
You know what? I'll say like this. In the case with Ortiz, I mean, kind of like how me and the other guys we touched on the pre-fight show. It's kind of like man, when he came out and said that yeah, I'm too young to be getting hit like this. I really need to make some so I might have to make career changes and some decisions because I shouldn't be getting beat up like that. When he said that, I mean, he rubbed me the wrong way. But to like I say, to give him a little credit, going into the Berto fight, actually, I mean, at that time, even though I was one of the guys hey, I felt Berto was gonna make some noise. I won't lie, but something told me before that fight that I mean, it's like I saw it in Victor Ortiz's eyes. I said, you know what, Ortiz gonna beat Berto, and everybody, oh no, you crazy, Berto gonna make him quit. I said, but you got to look at it like this. Even though Ortiz has lost fights and he did get beat up by Maidana. But I mean, Andre Berto had at that time had yet to be really, really challenged by a
Uh-huh.
fighter of Ortiz caliber. And in the ring that night, it showed. Even though Berto had his moments, but it showed that Victor Ortiz, he unleashed the dog. And I mean, I don't. I don't know if he can get that back, but if he can get that back, he needs to hurry up and get that back because I mean, from like I say, what I saw yesterday is he looked very when he got hit, he looked timid and he looked like if Ramirez was the type who if he could have put some punches together, he hey who knows how different that fight could have went if he could have put some combinations together in there.
Yeah, you know what? I never was big on Berto. I mean, no disrespect to Berto, you know what I mean? Berto's Berto, but it's what you said. He had never been tested till he got to Victor Ortiz, and I think you know what I mean. That was my argument with everybody when he was beating everybody about like, oh no, you know the new boxing star Andre Berto, and I kept telling everybody he hasn't been tested. He hasn't been tested yet. And then when he lost to Victor Ortiz, I thought Berto had enough maturity to make the changes and come back winning again. You know, and I know he won a couple fights like that, but then every time he stepped up again with the big dogs, he just always comes up short.
You know what? It seems in the case with Berto, pressure fighters are are his undoing because whenever he fought somebody who pressed him, they beat him. Every
You know
every
what?
every guy. I mean, after the Ortiz fight, every guy who pressed him beat him. Soto Karass knocked him out.
Yo, he did.
And
That's
I'm not throwing shade at Soto Karass because, like I say, Soto Karass is he's a good fighter and he got the heart of a lion. But I mean, if you look at those guys style wise, Berto is by far, in my opinion, Berto was the more talented fighter, and he should have won. But I think he had the. I think he said he had the injury or something. But I mean, I still feel even with the injury that
I think
he should have been able to make the proper adjustments to win. But shout out to Soto Karass for doing what he had to do.
yeah, I think he dislocated his shoulder or some shit like that during that fight.
Okay. Well, now we go get to the Charlo brothers. You got Jamel winning the ring, and he outboxed Lozano thoroughly. Honestly, hey, I think Jamel took his frustrations out on Lozano for Demetrius Andre not giving him the fight.
Yeah, he definitely did, man. He looked really good, man. And then again, you know, we all called that. We all knew. I said before the fight that Charlo he was gonna freaking whoop on this guy because Boo Boo didn't want to fight him, and he did just that, man. I get more impressed with that guy every time he fights, man. Now I'm starting to see why you like him more than his brother. But you
And,
know, he looks really good.
and the crazy part is, I mean, I like the other brother, but it's like when I look at Jamel, I mean, he has that this is for the Madden gamers. It's a certain option on Madden called the superstar trait.
Yeah.
He has that superstar trait to me. It's
Uh
like
huh.
it's his composure. I mean, no matter what's going on in the fight, you could have just hit him with a couple of big hard punches, and he sit there, he'd be like, okay, phase it off, pow, pow, pow. I'm gonna stick to the game plan, and just because you hit me with that, I'm gonna change this and I'm gonna flip this around, and now I'm gonna make you pay for what you did, and I mean, like I said, he took Lozano to school. Hey, I thought he was gonna, and he was a lot more aggressive this fight than he normally is. He was a lot more aggressive.
You know the only thing that bothers me about that whole situation is the better he gets and the more he makes fighters look bad, the less people are gonna want to fight him.
Right.
And that's the sad part about boxing. Cause I tell you what, man, every time he fights, he wins me more and more as a fan. Cause he looks so good in that ring. No homo. Well, he looks, everything just works so fine with him. Like his boxing ability, it's a thing of beauty watching him. He's
Very
really,
fluid.
the sweet science of boxing is any pure boxing head and pure fan and would love to see him fight, man. It's a treat for anybody.
I agree. Hey, and I'm gonna say this too. Ronnie Shields is another trainer who's definitely underrated. I feel Ronnie Shields is one of the best trainers in the game. He gets a little acknowledgement, but he doesn't get a lot of acknowledgement. But I mean, if you look at him, I mean, for this to be Christmas, I mean, not to be counting nobody's pockets, but man, I know Christmas is gonna be nice for him. You got three of your fighters fought this week. Then I think a week or so ago, you had another one of your fighters fight, and this week coming up, you got another fighter fighting. So, hey, Ronnie Shields and his family, they're definitely gonna have a very enjoyable Christmas.
Well, they're gonna have a very enjoyable 2015
Oh
because
yes,
his
sir.
is looking really good. I think he's a lot of people. I mean, I know we hear Ronnie Shields out there and his name is thrown out there, but man, I think 2015 you're gonna know Ronnie Shields and his stable more than you do this year because their team right now is looking real solid, and he got a couple of fighters that are looking solid. It's not just like one or two. He got actually a couple of them that look really good.
I agree. And but like I say, overall, hey, Jamel is the type. I mean, honestly, if there wasn't any politics in boxing, his next fight should easily be for a world title because he's ranked high in all the organizations. But as we know, politics is definitely in boxing, and they ruin opportunities for young fighters who are coming up. Not all, but some, especially the ones who wasn't marketed as the quote unquote supposedly great ones. But I mean, the only thing I can say is when I look at Jamel Charlo, I see a fighter who can potentially do some great things because, like I say, to be so fundamentally sound, to be fast, to have the timing he has, his composure, his lateral movement, his his sharpshooting. Because I mean, man, like sometimes in fight, if you really look, he sits there and when he lets his hands go, he can easily land one of the most crisp 6 punch combinations you probably ever seen. Because when he puts his punches together, man, this kid is very fluid, very fluid.
Yeah, I tell you what, man, I was a couple fights ago. I had his brother actually being a bigger star than him, but man, watching him fight and watching him develop more as a fighter, man, there's no way I can have his brother above him, man. His boxing ability is just way better and way smoother than his brother's.
Yep.
His brother's just more aggressive with it, but he's nowhere near that level.
And you know what? Like I say, I mean, it's not to throw shade at Jamal because Jamal is good, but I just when I see Jamel, I see he has star written on. And I'm not saying Jamal can't be a star, but Jamel is just, in my opinion, he looks to be the much better fighter in my eyes.
Yeah, I agree with that. I mean, what is it, Jamal, right? The aggressive one.
Yeah, Jamal is the aggressive one.
Yeah, I mean, he's good, but he just man, Jamal, man, just on pure boxing ability, Jamal just he looks just so much better. He's so much more relaxed than his brother is in that ring, and he everything. It's almost like if you're um at an orchestra and you got the violin playing and symphony with the trumpets and all that, bro. It's
Hmm.
so smooth the way he puts everything, his punches together, and his timing is on point, and then if, he has some pop to him, just because he's not, knocking people off, people sleep on that power, but you
Right.
know, his countering ability and his footwork and his angles, they're a work of beauty.
I agree. But to get into Jamal winning his fight, and man, I mean, from the outset, I mean, you pretty much saw what was going to happen. His opponent, his last name was Bowtie, and
Yeah,
I mean, and I saw a few people made a joke about him, but overall, like I say, the guy, he he went out there, he was trying, but I mean, Jamal's power and his jab and the angles he was going at was just too much. And like I say, but Bowtie did good in my honest opinion, lasting 3 rounds because I mean that was the type. I wasn't even sure he was gonna get out of the first round.
yeah, me too. You know what? I give him credit for lasting the 3 rounds too, but I knew Charlo was gonna take him out. But after seeing after seeing this weekend fight with Jamal, man, I kind of wonder if he's starting to rely on his power too much. If he's starting to think that he's just, he has that power where he can just run through people.
Right.
And you know what I mean? Because as every fight goes on, it's almost like he gets a little bit more cocky with his power.
Mhm.
And sooner or later, you're gonna find a dude who can take your punch and can punch right back.
Right.
And that's when, you know, that's where we're really gonna know what he's about. But I mean, he's looking good right now, man. He's doing what he has to do. He's knocking the guys out that he needs to knock out, and he's looking good doing it. I just hope that he doesn't fall into that where he just, is too overconfident in his power. But sooner or later, when somebody takes out that power, you need your plan B.
Right.
And if you don't have a plan B, just as Soda Carras, what happened when Thurman popped him.
Right. You know what? I'll say it like this with Jamal. Jamal, I mean, he's skillful as well, but what I noticed with him, it's like he gets a bit impatient. Like it's like he says himself, okay, I'm tired. I'm tired of trying to. I'm trying to do things. I'm tired of doing things the fundamentally sound way. I want to get this guy out of here, so I'm gonna step it
Mm-hmm.
up. I'm gonna throw a few more hooks. I'm gonna throw my jab. Then I'm gonna come across with this and that, and and hopefully I get this guy out of here. But like you say, he's another good fighter who can do some good things well. But I kind of want him to show a little more versatility because I
And that,
mean,
and that's
go ahead, go ahead.
and that's the thing with what you were saying about he gets when he starts to be a little bit more aggressive, he abandons all the fundamentals. And that's the biggest mistake that boxers make. I mean, if you look at Khan's biggest problem is when he abandons. That's why he got knocked the hell out.
Yep.
His fundamentals and his basics and what he was best at. So that's why I say that. I don't want him to rely on that power. I want him to stick with what he knows and use his boxing skills. And if the knockout comes, the knockout comes. But it's exactly what you said. He does abandon that, and that's what I see his weakness as is when he abandons his fundamentals.
And but like I say, overall, I think he did a good job. But to kind of move along, we go to Mauricio Herrera and Benavides. Me, what I'll say with that fight is, I felt Herrera won that fight, and and I'm not exact. Somebody said that Benavides' father went to Herrera and told him, me and my son know you beat him. But I mean, don't get me wrong. By any stretch of the imagination, it was a close fight. But I feel Herrera was winning. But as I said on the pre-fight show, that Herrera was becoming too dangerous to the top notch guys at 140. So I felt that he was gonna get the short end of the stick this weekend against Benavides, and basically what I predicted happened perfectly. I mean, I didn't want it to happen, but I mean, I just had that feeling. Like I say, he was coming off of giving Danny hell. He had beat a guy and got a title, and the powers that be was like, you know what? If he keeps winning, then we have no choice but to match him back up with Danny. So what's the best way to stop him from fighting Danny? Put another loss on his record. So now Danny, oh well, I don't have to fight him anymore, and that's what happened.
Yeah, but you know what? I know me and you told that I had said Benavidez was going to win, that Herrera was going to get robbed. Now, there's some people perception as far as saying, like, oh, Herrera really put a beating on this kid. I mean, yeah, he got robbed, but it wasn't a thing where it was like, oh my God, he beat the crap out of him.
Right.
But, uh, the reason I'm not so upset about it is because I remember when Herrera fought Bruce Lee. I'm not going to say his last name because I can't say it. But, but a lot of people felt that they gave Herrera that decision, although Ruslan had won. A lot of people still feel Ruslan had beat Herrera. So, I mean, at the end of the day, I mean, it's boxing. The politics is like that. Sometimes you get in your favor, sometimes you don't. He's a dangerous fighter for anybody because of his style. He has a really awkward style of fighting. And, unfortunately, he got the short end of the stick this weekend. But Herrera will be back strong. And, if Benavidez is man enough, he'll give him a rematch. You know, and hopefully in a rematch they can get it right. But I mean, it was a good fight, man.
It was.
They took their A games, and I don't know how true is that statement about his father going over there and stuff like that. I mean, boxing, they be stretching rumors like crazy. I remember when Mayweather was gonna fight Medina, everybody was saying Mayweather had got knocked out during sparring, and that was a bullshit rumor. Rumors in boxing always fly. So
Yeah.
if Benavidez' father did really go and do that, I mean, then I feel that they should get the rematch. And overall, pretty good fight. I mean, it could have went either way depending on how you've seen it. I would have probably preferred a draw, not a Benavidez win, but I mean, they put on a solid performance.
They
And
did.
Herrera, but people forget that this was Benavidez' first step up with the big guys to perform the way that he did with Herrera, man. He did a really good job because he looked to me better than Danny did against Herrera. Yeah, and Danny pound for pound. Remember this guy coming out of Arizona looked solid for a dude that just stepped up against the top guys.
Right. Like I said, hey, I can't lie. I was impressed with Benavides too. I mean, for this to be his first step up, he fought a good fight, and hey, I felt he lost, but he did fight a good fight. So I mean, I can't knock him for that. But the the fight that shocked me the most was Andy Lee
Oh yeah.
lowering a boom on on Korobov. Man, I mean, hey, and I could be honest. I'll say this, even though this is not my words, but hey, I had a few people hit me up talking about, well, hey, where is this power from Andy Lee coming from? And I say, well, Andy Lee always had pop, but I mean, man, He's on a tear.
Yeah, but he's fighting at 54 now, right?
No, he's at 60.
Oh, he's back at 60?
Yeah,
Oh, yeah, I don't know. That's kind of questionable to me. Because I know he moved down to 54 when he knocked out that dude. So when he knocked out the dude at 54, I thought it was just because he moved down in weight, so his power transcended into that. But, I mean, Korobov's a solid 160 guy, man.
yes, he is.
That's an impressive win. I don't care what anybody say about Andy Lee. That's a damn well impressive win.
That's a very impressive win. I was thoroughly impressed with him. But what I will say is now Korobov, in my opinion, was winning the fight until Andy Lee landed that punch.
Yeah, but you know what? I know he's training at a crown gym now and whatnot, and it just seems, man, because Andy Lee is well, he's from Ireland, no, right? He's from over
Yeah,
there, from you.
yeah, Ireland. Yeah,
It just seems like these guys from over there, they come over here and they train at the crown gym, man, and it's like they get a rejuvenation, man. You saw what they did with the Klitschko, you know, and Vladimir Klitschko had been dropped by Brewster hard, you know what I mean?
yeah.
And he lost that fight, you know, so, I mean, I'm not surprised. I'm not gonna go to the extremes of saying Andy Lee is juicing or anything like that. I
No,
just see his training methods are different now. Yeah.
me myself. I mean, like you say, like I always say, I'm not into the to all that type of. Oh well, I think he's juicing and that because I don't think he's juicing, but man, I'll say this, his last two knockouts, ooh wee,
Yeah,
because
but
I mean, and both the thing is in both fights, in the fights with John Jackson, Julian Jackson's son. I mean, the whole fight, John Jackson was winning, and when he got careless for one moment, and Andy Lee made him pay with Korobov. Korobov was winning the fight handily, and he got careless for that one moment, and he got him.
that's the thing, you know. You go to the crime gym, man, you get a whole different training system and everything like that. And the thing with Andy is that even though he's losing the fight, like he's losing rounds, he's adjusting
Yeah,
to what these guys are doing in the ring. So to us and people watching the fight, it's like, oh man, he's getting beat on the scorecard, but he's timing you every single. He's timing these guys. And the thing is, we didn't see that at Andy Lee before. Andy Lee now sits on his punches a whole lot better.
yeah,
He times fighters a whole lot better. You know, his angles are a whole lot better. There's a lot of things he's doing in the ring that he wasn't doing when he was fighting, you know, with his old trainers and stuff. So, I mean, they've done a really good job with adjusting his fighting, and they haven't changed his style. That's the thing that you gotta appreciate about the Compton. They haven't changed his style one bit. He just put better tools into his hands. So I mean, what he's the WBO middleweight champ now?
man. Hey, my only thing I was wondering is, I was wondering after the win, I mean, it's Andy Lee looked at as a viable opponent for Gennady Golovkin. That's what I was thinking.
Doing that right now. I mean, you have to look at him as a valuable opponent. I mean, how can you not? I don't care what nobody say. Listen, Anthony was the top middleweight when Sergio Martinez was the lineal champ.
Right.
Anthony was the top middleweight when Chaves Jr. was given the middleweight championship. After he earned it, he was given it. You know, now he's back on top with a belt, and he has the WBO middleweight belt. That's a volume motherfucking win. I don't care what nobody says. That's a volume win. If you want to stay here and say, oh, he's not on the Golovkin's level, listen, you gotta keep giving a whole bunch of excuses. But this guy's been the top on this middleweight division for 5 years, maybe more. You know what I mean? Like he's been there with these guys, and he's fought the top guys in that division.
True. All right. Well, time to get into the Keith Thurman versus Leonard Bundle fight. Now, like I say, I'll go off of what I'm seeing on social media. I mean, I'm catching a lot of people who say, "Oh, Keith Thurman was exposed last night. He was he was showed as he not ready for this guy. He not ready for that guy." But the thing is, what I noticed, any fighter who calls out Floyd Mayweather, it's like a cult of guys. They come together, and no matter what you do, no matter how impressive you was, they find a way to shit on everything you did. And that's like, if you look at that fight, I have never ever in the history of boxing ever heard of a guy boxing well all night long, winning all 12 rounds, getting exposed. How the hell is it possible? I mean, be honestly, I mean, that's not even logical.
You know what? It's funny. You know, boxing fans are the most hilarious fans out in the world. You know why? Because he knocked down Bundu in the first round.
Right.
Yeah, 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 went the distance. And okay, I know Keith Thurman called for the knockout. But you know what? I give credit to Bundu, bro. He was undefeated, okay? Maybe he didn't fight, the elites out there. But I mean, the dude had a solid, like 40 people. I'm like, like
He's 31.
31 people. You
Right,
know,
but he was coming off of knockout wins over Lee Purdy and I can't think of the other guy now. I'm looking at him, but I can't get his name. One other a guy, Amir fight, but he was coming off of knockout wins over both of them.
exactly. And he was a solid fighter. He a fighter, he was a 50 plus fighter, but he was game enough
Right.
to go with the tournament. And you know what? Style makes man. At the end of the day, you as a fighter, I mean, everybody has a bad day. Shit, Muhammad Ali looked bad at that Jordan. You know what I mean? We had guys out there. Muhammad Ali lost to Joe Frazier the first fight, then came back and won the next two. You don't get exposed when you win a fight. You don't get exposed because you had a bad fight. Like, what? You need to stop with this bullshit. You know what I'm saying? Of, this fight is exposed, and this fight is this, and this fight is not going to do that. At the end of the day, you don't know if he didn't get the knockout. Boxing is about winning, whether it's by 12-round decision or by knockout, or whatever you want to call it. And then went in there, he got the job done.
Exactly.
If people want to say Thurman should not say he's going to knock out if he's not going to do it, then all right, then criticize that. Don't criticize the man who suggested to the guy that was in front of him. Don't criticize the man who, he knocked the dude down and had the dude done, and then, because Bundu made just as many adjustments as Thurman did.
He did.
It was a hell of a fucking month. Why don't people want to give credit? I mean, the dudes came out there and they put on a boxing show, bro. That's what boxing means. Like, stop exposing shit. Cause Thurman looked good. He adjusted. He had angles. He was, countering and doing his thing. And people just want to sit here and criticize him. Find a reason not to give a credit.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, when the elite names start fighting Thurman and Thurman goes out there and he's beating these guys, I don't want to hear these same guys saying he was exposed being back on the Thurman bandwagon as they call it.
Exactly. That was like my point with it. It's like, okay, when like I say, and I'm gonna say it again, and I mean, if it rub people the wrong way, it is what it is. But I mean, it's not to be funny, but it's like whenever a fighter calls out Floyd Mayweather for a fight, he gets back. He gets all type of hate. Oh, well, you not on Floyd's level, and this is that. The thing is this: even if he's not on Floyd level, his job as a fighter is to want to fight the best available guys. And if Floyd Mayweather is the best available guy, why would you not call him out? How would you look as a professional fighter going out there and saying, you know what? I want to fight all the best guys, but I don't want to fight Floyd Mayweather because I don't feel I'm ready. Stop, man. It doesn't even make sense.
Exactly, and that's the thing that these fans are so hypocritical. They want a dude to come out and say, "Hey, I want Manny Pacquiao," but then as soon as that guy comes out and says, "Hey, I want Manny Pacquiao," they'll say, "Oh, he's not ready. He's not on that level."
But you know what? And I'm gonna say this with Pacquiao as well. When somebody calls out Manny Pacquiao, it's the same thing. It's like it's like it's not all Pacquiao fans and it's not all Mayweather fans either. But it's like certain ones who take the shit to the level of a cult. Those guys, oh, well, you called them out, but they'll go way back. Oh, well, how dare he call out Manny Pacquiao? And in his 14 pro fight, he got knocked down by a guy named Quandre Robinson. What does that have to do with anything? I mean, that's irrelevant. Okay, if you got knocked down, did he get up? Yes, you got up. You got up. You made the proper adjustments and won the fight. I mean, I just look at it like this with fans. I mean, it's to the point where we as boxing fans, I mean, we want guys to call out the best guys. We want to see the best available fights. You guys trying to criticize a fighter every time they call out the best. That's the type of stuff that's like. That's what makes the other top fighters be like, oh, you know what? The fans don't want to see me fight him, so I'm not gonna fight him. What I'll do is instead of fighting him, I'll go find somebody. Okay, this guy here, he got 34 wins, 6 losses, and 32 knockouts. I'll go fight him, and I'll make it look like he has a chance. The thing is, if you want to see the best guys fight the best guys, then we as fans, we have to pressure somewhat pressure these guys into taking these type of fights, and it can be done. And when people say it can't be done, all I do, I go back and I look at on Twitter when it was around the time when Canelo was looking for an opponent, and all his opponents kept getting injured and hurt, and everybody started, oh, Canelo's scared of Austin Trout. And it became the trending topic on Twitter was, when will Canelo fight a real opponent? And Canelo was like, you know what? I'm tired of this. You know what? Trout talking. Let's fight. That's the type of fighter I respect. I respect a fighter who says, you know what? Okay, you're going to talk about me. You say this. You say, oh, okay, well, what we do is let's get in the ring and let our fists do the talking.
Exactly, and you know what? At the end of the day, you want the fighters to call out the best fighters. You know, it's kind of stupid for a guy like a Danny Garcia or a Keith Thurman or anybody up there to go out there and be like, "Hey, I want to fight a God Stalker." You know what I mean? Like, come on, man. We want you to go out there and call these guys out. But fans need to be a little bit more, a little bit more.
Objective.
You
They need
know,
to be objective.
like they're getting paid. They're the ones complaining about how boxing has changed and boxing, is not the way and fighters are not fighting fighters. Listen, promoters, managers, advisors, whatever the hell you wanna, whatever route you wanna go down. A fighter chooses his own fight in his career. There's no man in this world that can tell you you're not gonna fight this man. And that's on you. So fighters really need to step up and fight. Stop with this whole bullshit of, listen, we're not getting paid for these fighters to go on TV and fight unless you their trainer or you in their corner.
Right. You know what? But like I say, I mean, um, I ain't gonna dwell on too long. We'll go ahead and get to the next fight. The next fight we can talk about is Timothy Bradley versus Diego Chaves. That was a fight. I mean, while I was watching the fight, it was very exciting. It was phone booth fighting at points. Bradley was boxing well. Chavez would land some hard shots here and there. But overall, I felt Bradley won that fight. But I mean, man, I mean, if you look at his face at the end of the fight, I mean, he looked eerily similar to when Tommy Hearns put hands on Martin on the Martin show. He looked very similar to that.
You know what? If you just look at his face without watching the fight, you think that they made the right call. But when you actually watch the fight, it's nowhere near that. I thought Bradley beat him solidly. Fortunately, man, his face does not help him at all. You know, his face like I thought Bruce Lee didn't do that to him. You know what I mean? And he suffered a concussion that he was, out of it for months. It's unfortunate, man. Tim Bradley gets the short end of the stick for a dude who has probably the best resume in boxing,
Right.
and a dude that's willing to go out there and give the fans. You know what I mean? Like, people understand this guy. They criticize Bradley for not fighting guys. So he goes out there and he brawls with a brawler at Bruce Lee.
Yeah.
Right, the most dangerous. You've never seen. Listen, that's a throwback fighter, bro. I mean, this guy is willing to go out there and do what the fans want, and he just keeps getting the short end of the stick, and it's unfortunate, man, because he doesn't deserve that, and the fans don't deserve that, and unfortunately for him, man, he's just that whole Manny Pacquiao situation really screwed him over, and Bob Arum has really, yeah, he's got him paid, but he's really played him out too, It's not over for him though, man. He's still a good, viable opponent, man. And he only has 2 losses. I mean, no one.
He got one official loss, and I mean, you know how it go. I mean, we all feel that Pacquiao beat him twice, but he officially has one loss.
He has one official loss, and then one draw now.
One or two draws, if I'm exact, because he had a draw with somebody else back in the day. I can't think of the guy's name off the top of my head, but I know I think he had 2 draws.
So you can't like write a dude off for that. You know what I mean? I mean, he still has a solid record, and he's still
Nate Campbell. He got a draw with Nate Campbell.
Oh, all right. But
A draw, a contest, something like that.
I think it was a no contest. No, he had a no contest against Devin.
Huh?
Devin Alexander. When he fought Devin Alexander, he had a no contest. Remember, Devin Alexander got the headbutt, and then they stopped it. But
no, he got a technical decision.
Oh, all right. So even still, man, like I said, he has one of the best resumes in boxing. I mean, he's still gonna get his fight. Unfortunately for him, the guy who benefited the most from that night was Diego Chaves.
Yep, I agree.
You see what 35,000 would do for you?
But you know what though, I'll say this. Overall, like I say, Bradley, he definitely shows you all the signs of a throwback fighter. He's willing to fight any and everybody. I mean, Bradley. Man, I mean, I'm a Bradley fan. Man, the type of things he does in the ring are things that the other guys, I mean, they're scared to even attempt because, like you say, who else have you seen get in the ring with Provodnikov and it's like, you know what, man, the hell with this, man. I'm finna bang with Provodnikov. Every round I'm gonna bang with him. I'm gonna use some movement, but I'm gonna bang with him. Man, Bradley put it all in the ring that night, and every fight he gives his all. So I mean, I have nothing bad to say about Bradley. True, he got outclassed by Pacquiao, but Pacquiao is one of the best fighters ever. So I mean, there is no shame in that to me.
Exactly, and that's the thing, man. That's why the fighters today, man. He's something special, man. I mean, like I said, man, it's not over for Bradley, man. And anybody who thinks it's over for Bradley should really just go hang themselves. That man is, that he's good for the sport, man. He's
Yes,
really
he is.
and regardless of who he fights from now on, man, he's getting paid. and he's getting, I mean, 2 million to fight a dude who's only getting paid 35,000. You know what 35,000 will get you in America? Hey,
Man,
bro.
exactly. But all right, to get to the big fight of the weekend, the fight that
That hurt me the most. That's the fight that hurt me the most.
right, no, it didn't actually hurt me. I mean, because originally on the show I had picked Khan to win, then then I switched it because for some reason, I mean me I thought Devin would assert himself more in this fight. But overall, I mean, hey, like I said, I don't mind being wrong, and I'll say I was wrong. But man, I was thoroughly impressed with Amir Khan. His speed, his control of range, his the counter punching, his head move. I mean, Amir Khan looked like he was just on another level than Devin. I respect the hell out of Devin Alexander, but Amir Khan just looked like he was on another level.
Yeah, but you know what? You know what hurt me because I'm a Devin fan, and being a Devin fan, I had to root against Devin. I had Khan winning the fight. I didn't think he was going to do it so convincingly.
Man,
He did good. I have been saying for months now. We have talked about Amir Khan for a while now, and I have stated for months now how Amir Khan, when he sticks to his boxing, when he comes in, hits you 3 or 4 times, and moves,
yeah,
is untouchable. What, bro? Yo, listen. I know we were impressed with the Porter and how he took apart Devin, but I'm sorry. I was more impressed with Khan because
me too.
Khan, man, he destroyed Alexander, and he was hitting Alexander hard. You know, there was shots in there when he was coming in and just casting them 2, 3 shots with some power punches, coming right back out, moving to the right. He kept resetting Alexander. Every time that Alexander would try to reset himself to throw the jab, Khan was already throwing 3 or 4 punches at him. You
Man,
know,
you know what? It was the sequence in the fight when Devin was sitting there, and I think Devin was getting ready to throw a right hook, and I kid you not, it's like Khan went he went Super Saiyan on Devin. Man, he like I'm not sure if you familiar with Dragon Ball Z,
yeah.
but hey, you know how they get when they ha 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 all that. Man,
Hey, nobody does better than Vegeta. I know what you're
hey,
saying about.
he sat there. He landed like a 5 punch combo on Devin, and I'm like, ooh. And then Devin, it's like Devin would land like one shot, but as soon as he landed one, Khan moved to the side and hit him with three. It's like
Yep.
whenever Devin would land and start to look like he had some success, Khan would come right back and shut it down quick.
You know the funny thing is, I got into an argument on Facebook a couple of weeks ago before this fight with somebody. They called me a car lover. Now, I will say this: I've been a big fan of Amir Khan since before. You know what I mean? He won the world title at 140, and he was coming up because boxing, man. He's so fast. His boxing ability is so nice, you know. But I really stopped following Khan after he lost to Peterson, which was controversial. Because at that point, I felt like he was giving excuses to his losses. I felt like every time when he lost to Danny, he had an excuse, and then he lost to Peterson, then he lost to what was the dude he lost to after Danny?
You say he lost to after Danny?
Did he lose after Danny?
No.
Then it was Peterson and Danny, and it just seemed like he just kept trying to make excuses. You know, like instead of just being like, all right, whatever, I lost. Let me just get back to it. And you know, I felt like I really started disliking him as a fighter at that point. But I never took away from his ability. And I remember getting into an argument on Facebook because they were like, "Oh, Khan ain't fight nobody, this, and that." And that Khan has a pretty solid resume, bro. He was the number one first guy.
Yep.
You know, when people, uh, Timmy, Timmy's only been knocked out one time. Yeah, okay. If you want to say Timmy because he got knocked out and he got knocked down, but I mean, for a dude to get hit by Marcus Medina, get knocked down, still get up and still whip his ass, I mean, that speaks volumes, bro. You know what I mean? Like, these guys, they want to discredit guys off for a knockout. I guarantee you, Danny still won't do that shit again in the rematch. Khan looking like the Khan he was with when he first was with Freddie Roach and they first won the world title at 140. He's looking strong. He's looking fast. He's 147 just got put on notice and just got put on notice big time. You know, that Khan is unbeatable. And unfortunately, I mean, I'm sorry, but yeah, I mean, people may disagree with me, but if Khan fights his fighting the way he did Alexander, who's gonna touch him? You know what I mean? Man, he got speed, yeah, and he got anger, but I guarantee you, every time Khan steps out and makes Manny Pacquiao, he says he's not gonna be able to do what Manny Pacquiao does. You know, Floyd don't want to see Khan. And I know a lot of people sitting here talking about, oh, nobody wants to see that fight. I want to see that fight. Floyd and Master Tactician versus Khan Speed. Let's see that fight. I mean, let's see Manny Pacquiao first, but let's see Floyd versus Khan.
You know what? I'm gonna say it like this: the only how, I mean, don't get me wrong. Hey, I want to see Floyd Mayweather versus Amir Khan too, but on the flip side, the only how I'll totally really agree with it. Manny Pacquiao and Floyd have to have an agreement to fight in September. If that's not fully agreed on, then I don't want to see the Khan fight. But if it is, then okay, I don't mind and go ahead and fight him. But honestly, dude, and I'm gonna say like this, and I've been saying this for a while. I mean, even though I always said I felt Floyd would beat him, but I feel Amir Khan will be a very dangerous fight for Floyd. I really do because it's like it's the speed, not only the speed he's presenting, it's like if Khan can force Floyd to get out of his plan instead of Khan rushing Floyd, if Khan forces Floyd to box with him, even though Floyd is the best tactical boxer in the sport, but if Khan can get Floyd to play his game, we can have a hell of an interesting fight.
Exactly, and that's the thing. That's what I'm saying. By when I feel Amir Khan is his fight, and he's doing what he wants, where he's able to come in and hit you 3-4 times. And the thing is, what people don't realize, you have to understand this. You know what the beauty of Khan is? When Khan comes in and he hits you 3-4 times, he doesn't just move back. He shifts his whole body. He does a whole 180 turn. Yeah. He makes you turn with him. So you can't even set yourself to even want to counter or throw back.
Exactly.
Step back.
Exactly. Hey, and I'm gonna say it like this: something that's very underrated with Amir Khan, his body work. He was hitting Devin with some nice body shots. Yes, he was hitting him with some nice body blows.
Exactly, and that's the thing, man. I remember when you did the pre-fight when you were saying about Devin would just sit on his right and whether it's right or his left that you wanted him to sit on.
I wanted him to sit on that right uppercut.
On the right uppercut, but you seen that every time that he tried to sit on his punches, Amir Khan threw over his head and caught him.
Yep.
You know what I mean? So it was a thing of beauty, man. Amir Khan put it.
you know what? It was very impressive. But what I will say is, I think it was like the 11th round is when Devin Alexander threw his first right uppercut. And the funny part about it is because I was talking with JG and Big Cool, and I told her, I said, "Wow." I mean, don't get me wrong. Like I say, I respect Devin, but I was like, "Wow." Now, if he would have if he would have put some if he would have threw that punch more often, this fight could have went different. Not dramatically different, but it could have been different because I still feel that's a punch that Amir Khan is open to, and it was just funny that when Devin threw it because he threw it out of desperation, but it landed and JG was like, "Well, smooth catch, you called that. You said the right uppercut," and I was like, "Right," because of I mean that's just me studying Amir Khan, and he's open for that right uppercut. But like I said yesterday, it's like he was playing a game like a game with Devin. He was like whenever Devin would throw a shot, anything you can do, I can do better. And man, I mean, he impressed me. He dominated Devin, and I didn't expect that at all. I,
You know,
I, I, I knew his speed would cause Devin problems, but I didn't know the problem. It would be like that. I did not at all. Amir Khan, I tip my hat off to you. You did the damn thing.
Alexander, it just seems like when he gets flustered, it's almost as if he forgets how to box. You know, it's because we seen it when Porter bum rushed him. He just didn't know what to do. You know, he got put on his defensive side, and then he's not a very good back fighter. He's not a good fighter to fight off his back foot. So I just feel like Khan never gave him the opportunity to set up any punches. It just seemed like every time that Alexander would throw something or try to counter with something, Khan was already countering that punch itself, and I really can't stress how big of a win that was for Khan last night. To really go in there and really dominate a solid 147 fighter, that win was a more impressive win than the Collazo win. By far.
I agree. I agree. I
And
mean,
it's, uh,
even though he took Collazo to school and he spanked him, but I mean Devin is I mean is judged by anybody on anybody's book as at least a B plus or better fighter.
huh?
And for Amir Khan to go out there and do what he did, that I mean, he sent a message to the welterweight division to me that I'm here and I'm here to make some noise. So you guys better look out.
He looks so much more comfortable at 47 too.
He
He
does.
he looks,
And
you know,
go ahead.
he looks like that's where he belongs. At 140, he was looking like he was trying to kill himself to make that weight. Although he was always in shape and everything, but it almost seemed like he was pushing himself to make that. At 47, and that's the thing with Virgil Hunter in his corner, it seems like he keeps Amir Khan less reckless. You know what I mean? He emphasizes to Khan to stick to his boxing. He hasn't changed Khan's style, but he's worked on his weaknesses and has made Khan a better fighter.
Yes, I agree. And like I say, Virgil has done a very solid job with Amir Khan, a very good job. It's like you said, he didn't. You can see he worked on some things with Amir Khan offensively. Like you say, he taught Amir Khan how to wrap up because before that, I mean, when he was with Freddie Roach, if Khan got in trouble, I mean, hey, you just about had Amir Khan if you can get him in trouble.
Yes, sir. And not to knock Freddie Roach. Freddie Roach is a great trainer. He's a Hall of Fame trainer.
Absolutely, absolutely.
But sometimes you need to recognize your guys. But the thing with Freddie Roach is when you have a fighter like Manny Pacquiao, You know, it kind of makes everything harder with the guys that are in your stablemate. But then that's why I give Virgil Hunter all the credit in the world, bro. I mean, he has Roger Ward, and he treats all of his fighters like they're independent fighters. You know, he doesn't treat Ozzy Ward any different than Amir Khan. He doesn't treat uh, Angulo any different. He doesn't treat Bodo any different. You know, they all go to camp together and they all train like, you know, they're his number one fighters. So, big up to Virgil Hunter, man. I mean, I'm still so hyped about Amir Khan winning that fight, and that you know that's kind of upsetting because I'm a Devin Alexander fan. But you know what? You gotta give it up for that performance he put up last night, man.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
the best performance of this year.
No, hey, man, he was dominant, authoritative, and kind of like I've been saying all night, he was the boss. It's like when the fight started, when Devin hit him with that rabbit punch. Oh man, he because Khan was already doing good before that, but when he hit him with that rabbit punch, hey, he pissed Khan off, and Khan started teeing off.
You know what? I'm glad that HBO did the Bradley versus Chavez fight last night too, because you know what? Maybe now we can get Bradley versus Khan.
You
Maybe
know
we
what?
can
And,
get that
and that's a fight. When that fight was out and being discussed, hey, I always said, I mean, I'm still a Tim Bradley fan, but I always felt Amir Khan would beat Bradley. I always felt, I felt Khan was just like a stylistic nightmare for him. I always felt that Khan would be too much for Tim Bradley. I always felt that way.
But you know what? Tim Bradley, man, he always brings crazy heart to his fights,
Yes,
and he's
yes,
always
sir.
have a fight. So I mean, if why not give us the fight that everybody wanted to see at 140? You know,
True.
Riley was the number one guy at 140 before Khan took over. You know, and he unfortunately never got the fight. I mean, let's do it at 47. I mean, that's a pretty big fight, man. And both fighters would come out both lucrative in their paychecks.
I agree. But um, this is where we're gonna wrap the show up at. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you guys for tuning in. We definitely appreciate all you guys, all the viewers who tuned in. And like you say, Colossal Boxing Talk is here to stay. As long as you guys keep supporting us and giving us the encouragement, liking our videos, watching our videos, sharing them. I mean, like I said, we appreciate all the love and support. We appreciate the love on Twitter. We appreciate the love on Facebook. We appreciate the love on Instagram. We just, like I say, we're very humbled by you guys' support, and we definitely appreciate it all. I not only speak for me, I'm speaking for Colossal Boxing Talk as a whole. Mouse appreciates it. JG, Big Cool, and y'all already know Smooth Cat. Hey, we appreciate everything. Last but not least, Mouse, with your outro.
You already know. As always, it's an honor to be out here, man. We appreciate the love and the support, and we're gonna continue grinding and giving y'all the best unbiased opinions out there. Because yes, we heard about colossal boxing talk. We here to stay, and we here to keep on giving the fans what they want. Mouse in the building.
And last but not least, Smooth Cat out.